There's one thing people love about this resort. Let's see what makes it so special. I am here at Disney's Old Key West Resort for a full tour of the rooms, the pools, the theming, the amenities, and a whole lot more. We're going to check out if this resort is right for your party and see the one thing that people can't stop talking about here. Old Key West is a Disney Vacation Club resort with villa-style accommodations. As you can probably tell, it is themed after Key West, Florida, and has those very tropical, relaxing vibes. Now, you do not have to be a Disney Vacation Club member to stay at this resort. You can stay as long as there's availability just through regular booking practices. As with all Disney World Resort hotels, you can check in as you normally do with the front desk, or you can simplify your arrival by checking in through the My Disney Experience app. I always do this. It's super easy. You don't even have to go by the front desk because your room number is texted to you and given to you in the My Disney Experience app. You can head straight to your room and open it with either your phone with the mobile room key or with a magic band. Now, if you do prefer a traditional check-in process, you can of course do that here in the Hospitality House lobby building. This is where you can talk to cast members and they can help you out with anything you need if you have any issues checking in or if you just want to check in with a real person. You can see it's pretty empty in here right now. Check-in times at Disney Vacation Club resorts is 4 p.m. It is currently about 12:40 when I'm arriving. Now, hopefully my room's ready a little earlier than that. I did mark in the app that I was getting here at 10 a.m. My room's not ready yet, but they can be ready early pending availability. This resort is often criticized for not being the most exciting in Disney World, and that's certainly true. However, I actually really love the theme of this resort. It's super relaxing. It does feel like it's informed by the Florida Keys, and it's also just, the rooms are really big, which is a plus. Now, typically I would head straight to my room, but since my room's not ready, I say we check out pretty much everybody's favorite thing about this resort. And what do people love so much about Old Key West? Well, it's none other than the table service restaurant here, Olivia's. Olivia's Cafe is a casual table service restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can also mobile order food to go from this spot. And you're gonna see a menu that has a lot of comfort food favorites with that tropical Key West twist to it. Favorites include the fried chicken and the key lime tart. I think those might be on the docket today. I am pretty hungry. Now we're gonna find out what makes Olivia's so special, but don't just take my word for it. AllEars.net has reviews of every dining location in Disney World, and Olivia's has a whopping 8.7 rating from 78 reviewers. So AllEars readers love it, and I'm gonna go eat there. So as you can see, the Key West vibes certainly do not stop when you get into the restaurant. I love the fans in here. They're so like relaxing feeling. Key West has a very unique tropical vibe, and I think this resort really captures it. And you can see that here in Olivia's. So a lot of Disney World restaurants right now will have a QR code menu. So I'm just gonna scan that and tap into the menu. I'm super excited to eat here because, of course, I've heard amazing things from my readers. I've also heard amazing things from my coworkers. So I'm thrilled. I've never eaten here before. I did get the fried chicken. Ollie told me to. So as a note, I did make a reservation for Olivia's, but they do have a walk-up wait list here that you can access through your My Disney Experience app. There also tends to be day of availability if it's not crazy busy. Apparently 2 o'clock on a Wednesday is not a busy time. So it is so slow in here right now because Olivia's does actually close, as you can see from the doors, at 2 p.m. That's when their lunch service ends, at least today. It can vary. And then dinner service begins at 5. So I'm one of the last people that's eating lunch, and good news, lunch is here, baby. So I got the southernmost buttermilk chicken, which I have heard people rave about, including Molly. It comes with mashed potatoes, the southern gravy on top, a biscuit, and seasonal vegetables. And I am from the South, so I think I'm a pretty qualified person to judge this meal. I'm going in for just the fried chicken and gravy first. Okay, this is very good. The chicken is cooked extremely tender. The gravy on top is a very classic, like, southern gravy, and it really, really adds to the chicken. I will say I'm not sure about the flavor of the actual, like, fried bits on the chicken, the batter. So I want to try a little bit without the gravy to report back in. The batter on there is seasoned, which is awesome. Always improves fried chicken. It's a huge, beautiful cut of chicken. It's a very good sized portion. I actually think I'll be able to finish it so it's not oversized. Which, that's a little pricey for this portion, but Really good fried chicken. Sometimes you want to splurge. I don't think it's the best fried chicken in Disney World. That award I would give over to Homecoming in Disney Springs. However, it is very good. I would absolutely get this again. I'd probably get it over many of the other entrees and sandwiches here just because those are a little less like special. And this is a solid cut of fried chicken. Southerner approved. And I'm also giving the mashed potatoes a try because obviously. Oh my gosh. Those are good. They're like whipped consistency, so they're really super smooth, and they've still got pieces of the potato skin in them, which I love. I'm a pro potato skin. If you're pro or anti potato skin, you should tell me in the comments. I'm curious. But yeah, these have they've got some dairy in them to give them added creaminess and green bean. I love green beans. I used to get made fun of by my friends in college because I would go to a restaurant and all of the sides I would pick green beans. Or one time I even got a veggie plate that was just green beans. So I'm also very qualified to judge green beans. These are super thin. They are not, the ends aren't broken off. So if you're like put off by green bean ends, I know some people are, I'm not. They're super thin. They're super crispy, crunchy, cooked perfectly. So they're just soft enough to bite through while still having a nice good snap to them. And then they also have definitely better, and I want to see maybe some lemon juice on them to add to them. They definitely go with the fried chicken and the potatoes super well, and there's a little gravy on them, which is often tasty too. All right, and biscuit time. Now my standard for Southern biscuits is Bojangles. If you know, you know. So it's a high standard. This is a very good biscuit. It is, at first glance, just like a Bojangles biscuit. Bojangles biscuits are super buttery. They're an amazing, fluffy biscuit dough batter, and that's what this has. Same texture. My one difference is I would say that it's a little, like 2% drier than a Bojangles biscuit. But if you can get that close to a Bojangles biscuit, I'm giving you some points. That's pretty good. So overall, this plate of food, I'm eating good. Also, I fully expected this chicken breast to be bone-in because of the size of it and the beautiful fry, but it's not, which is great because who likes eating around a bone? And would it really be a trip to Old Key West if I didn't get key lime pie? Well, it's a key lime tart, but key lime pie was invented in Key West. It's delicious in Key West, and I wonder how good it is going to be here. This is a key lime tart. You can see there's some meringue on top, and it comes with a mango and raspberry sauce. So I was expecting crispy meringue, and instead, she's soft, like a marshmallow fluff, which I might like better because I don't love meringue. The marshmallow on top is a little weird consistency-wise, but it's just not what I'm expecting on key lime pie. It's not bad. It actually tastes really good with the key lime. The key lime itself is awesome. I will say, I've had better key lime pie in my life. Like, I've had tangier, limier key lime pie, which tends to be my preference. The graham cracker bottom falls off very easily, but it is very tasty. You just have to kind of scoop it up when it crumbles onto the plate. The biggest complaint is I don't think this necessarily needs the mango and raspberry sauces that are on it. Key lime pie is really good on its own, and I think adding those sauces means you get some bites that are a little too raspberry-y when I might want lime, but overall very good. If you're at Olivia's, I'd recommend getting this just because it's a very thematic dessert. I've made a grave error. My desire to let Old Key West put its best foot forward with Olivia's has resulted in me being extremely full with a lot to see. Now I remember why I don't lead with food on these resort tours. Luckily the room's ready. Perfect timing, so we can go and check out that room and maybe I can lay down. Bed science is going to be hard to get up from. Pro tip, especially for these larger resorts, I am very prone to getting lost at these resorts that have so many buildings. So I headed to the lobby and just had one of the cast members draw me or hand me a map and then just circle my building so I can get over there a lot easier. So that's where I'm headed. Another thing to note about Old Key West is that it is not the most walkable resort. You certainly can. There are walking paths all through the resort, but having a car is certainly helpful for getting around. If you don't have a car though, don't panic. This resort does have internal bus stops, which is both a pro and a con. Makes it a lot easier to get around this resort because you can just hop on a bus and end up where you want to be at the resort. Also means that you might have to wait through some extra stops when you're headed to or from the theme parks. All right, I have found my building. I'm out here on one of the side roads. I'm not too close to the lobby, so I think getting around will be a bit of a pain, but that is all right. I just have to find my room. Something I really like about the Old Key West buildings is that they are super colorful. They're very like pastel and cute. Also, there's Mickeys in the railings, which how cute is that? And of course, as is true pretty much everywhere in Disney World. The horticulture teams do a great job with the landscaping here. It's gorgeous. All right, room found. Let's head in. All right, so this is our Old Key West room. We are in the base room level here at Old Key West. This is the deluxe studio. The other rooms are villas. There's 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas. As you can see, it's just a studio in here, just 2 queen beds, little TV, which actually surprises me. I've never seen a TV that small as the only TV in a Disney hotel room. And then you've got a kitchenette here and a bathroom there. And closet, of course. So interestingly, Old Key West is actually the hotel that I stayed at most recently for fun. I've obviously stayed at many, many, many hotels since then for work, but this is the last hotel that I stayed at with my family. We're a group of 5 adults, so we were able to get a suite, and that worked really, really well for us. I will say, first glance, I don't know how good of a deal this room that I'm in is. So this room type, deluxe studios, typically range from $440 to around $730 per night, which is on the more expensive end of regular Disney World hotel rooms and on the less expensive end of deluxe Disney World hotel rooms. The villas at this resort are more expensive. 1-bedroom villas tend to be $600 to $1,030 per night. 2-bedroom villas tend to be $860 to $1,620 per night. And 3-bedroom villas tend to be $1,850 to $2,900 per night. Now, those are the totals if you're not using the Disney Vacation Club program, which is Disney's timeshare program. This resort is completely Disney Vacation Club. It's geared towards the timeshare, but you don't have to be DVC to stay here. If you are using DVC points, you're going to have specific point totals that these rooms go for, and they do tend to be on the lower end when it comes to Disney World, Disney Vacation Club locations. And pro tip, are you listening? Are you ready for the pro tip? You can rent Disney Vacation Club points from DVC members who aren't going to use their points. We work with a really awesome company called David's DVC Rental. They can help you out with this. It's a really great way to get shockingly good deals on shockingly large hotel rooms, which is something that I tend to do when I'm on vacation in Disney World before I lived here. Always doing the DVC point trick. Now, in general, point rates and dollar rates do vary for Disney World hotel rooms depending on the time of year and the demand. And you can also tend to find special offers if you're a Florida resident, if you're an annual pass holder, or even if you're neither of those things. So keep an eye out for those. I think we should probably take a look around this hotel room, though, to see if it's worth that base $440 per night. You enter here with your standard Disney door lock. You got a peephole in the door so you can see who's coming to see you. And then the first thing you're going to spot are the 2 beds. It is 2 queen-size beds, 4 pillows each. I'm going to make a nest out of all 8 pillows. It's who I am. You can't stop me. I'm basically a pillow bird. There are a couple windows in this room, which does make it feel a little bit more homey. There's this pretty sizable window. Doesn't reach the floor like a lot of hotel windows do, but it's still pretty big. And mine does look out onto Old Turtle Pond Road, which is the road that my building is on. And I can see out to the walkways and the roads. I will say I can hear when somebody drives by, and the little carts that the cast members use here are a little bit noisy. So I don't love that. During the day, you can use these privacy curtains, which let a little light through, but don't let people see you. Or if you need a nap, black out the light completely with these pretty curtains. Now, these rooms haven't been updated in a while, but there are still a good number of outlets. There's one here on the wall under the window, one next to the bed here, and I will say they have added this little outlet port situation on the side table with USB ports. I do appreciate this. I of course love when it's built into the furniture, but any way that I can plug in my devices is great because I have a lot of them. The head ports are this pretty wooden design, and you've got our first main decoration of this room with this super cute print of Minnie lounging on the beach. That could be me. Except for Old Key West doesn't have beaches. The resort, the real Key West, does have beaches. This room is spacious. That's probably the biggest thing that draws it apart from other Disney World hotel rooms. In a lot of ways, it's not as updated. The TV is smaller. It feels a little drab, but it is very, very, very spacious. So I don't think you would feel cramped in here, even if you were staying as a group of 4 adults. Our side table is pretty spacious, good enough for both beds, I think. There's not any side tables on the outsides. This is for everybody. You've got your phone, your take-along guide to the magic to help you around Disney World, sanitized remote, and then we've got a small drawer, but good for safekeeping anything, and this cabinet, which I don't know what I'd put in there. Snacks, maybe? This room also has under bed storage space. Now, this is not an option in a lot of Disney World hotel rooms. A lot of the beds are blocked off on the bottom, but you can slide your suitcases under here. Fair warning though, look under there before you leave. You don't want to leave something important. Our other windows double as our balcony doors. We've got these beautiful floor-length windows. These are very pretty. They look out on the Florida foliage, which really helps to cement the theme of this resort. I have to say, theming a resort in Florida after the Florida Islands, a bit on the nose, but I don't hate it. Curtains on this side are only blackout, and they are raised and lowered with this little, like, pulley situation. It takes a while. I won't lie to you. But you've got this little pulley situation. Oh my gosh. Fast forward through this. And done. You can see that it does pretty well black out the windows. This is great because especially in my room, I have a golf course view or a partial golf course view. And that right there, those like sand patches right there, are part of the golf course. So I had folks golf in right there. I also look out right over these tennis courts, which is kind of fun because I could watch people play tennis. But also if someone's playing tennis, I'm not going to have a lot of privacy on my balcony. You're welcome. I didn't put you through the torture of watching me also pull those back up. Let's go outside. So the balcony is pretty small, but kind of like with the windows thing, it does feel pretty homey. It's a tile floor here, and then these really fun banisters that have the Mickeys in them. And something about this, I think it's maybe because I can see windows right here, makes it feel very homey. Again, I have a view here of the road, which is loud, as you can hear, the tennis courts, and the golf course, which the golf course view is nice. I like seeing the other buildings across the way, but it's definitely not the most private room that I've got here. Oops, see? Golf cart going right by. The other thing about this balcony is that these windows right here are a different room. These are a suite, I believe, looking out from the living room of a suite. And so if people were hanging out in here, sitting on the couch right there, I'd definitely be able to see them. They'd be able to see me. It might be a little awkward. And if kids were like messing around, looking out the window, that might be irritating for you. So, you know, I can see a boat going by. That looks funny from here. Furniture-wise, you got pretty classic patio furniture. There is a little table, and there's these chairs that have the pretty conch on them. So I like these. I mean, you can't really go wrong with like classic metal patio furniture, so I like them. I don't love these metal boxes though. So TV-wise, you do have this very small TV. Now, this size TV I've seen in second bedrooms of suites before, or like in the bedroom when there's a big TV in like the living area. This is the only TV in this room, and it is small. Like, this is super small. I'm going to show you how far away from the beds it is. Like, this is what that TV would look like if you were laying in bed. Not a lot to see there, so I don't love that. That doesn't feel great for a over $400 a night hotel room. Base value season. You have this dresser, which is very beach house. It's got seashells on the drawer hold things. What are these called? Knobs. And then here's a big bonus. That's a DVD player. There's a DVD player in this room, and you can rent DVDs from community halls. So that's kind of a bonus because a lot of Disney hotel rooms, your only option is cable. So I actually really like having the option to bring my own DVDs or borrow DVDs from community hall. Storage wise, I don't think you're gonna like want for it in this room. You've got these pretty sizable drawers. There are 4 of them. They go all the way up. Between that, the underbed space, the closet, and the fact that this room has spacious floor space in general, I think you're going to be okay from a storage standpoint. You have this nice table with 2 chairs with this low-hanging light. This does feel a little more dated decoration-wise compared to a lot of the Disney World Resort hotels, but it still looks comfortable. I could still work at this table, which is what matters to me. This is my favorite thing in the room, and I was super confused because I was like, Magic Kingdom is not 266 miles away from here. And that's because this is clearly Key West. We're in Key West, not Orlando. Silly. But it points out Key West, Nassau, Tortuga, Miami, Honolulu in the Lilo and Stitch font and Magic Kingdom, which I love. This here is a connecting door. I obviously only got one room, but I will say I can hear a lot of noise coming from the next door room. I know they're resetting it, so it's not guests, but if you had noisy guests next door, I think you would be able to hear them in here. And then you've got sort of recycling and trash bin right here. Moving on, we kind of head into our kitchenette area. Now, this is a feature that you will find at a lot of Disney Vacation Club resorts. It is not common in Disney World Resort hotel rooms to have this many kitchen items. And it is a big perk, in my opinion, to staying at Disney Vacation Club resorts, because having these little amenities in your room can make a big difference. In this specific kitchenette, you've got some shelving, you've got your cups and some forks and things like that, reusable plates and bowls, an ice bucket, and important, a microwave. Microwaves are in very few Disney World Resort hotels, typically only DVC in the rooms. This is one of my favorite features to have because I love having leftovers and I love reheating them. You've got your Mr. Coffee full coffee machine. Another big benefit, most of them are just single cup Keurig servings. This is a lot easier for making cups of coffee for multiple people. You've got your coffee and tea fixings for whatever you want to make. And you've got a toaster here, another big bonus because you could get like Eggo waffles and then skip breakfast in the park and save some money. Got your own little kitchen sink here. Of course, there's a sink in the bathroom as well. Under the sink, there's a pretty spacious cabinet that has paper towel and then extra paper towel, a sponge, and some dish soap, plus another trash can. So lots of good stuff in here. And then, of course, your fridge, which is pretty sizable. In fact, this might be the biggest mini fridge I've ever seen in a Disney World Resort hotel. Across from the kitchenette, we have your closet. So this is a pretty spacious closet, and it's got a lot of stuff for you to use in here. So up top, we've got your fire extinguisher, very important, and then an extra pillow and blanket, which I don't always get those out, but if there's not enough pillows for my nest, I do. There's an iron here with an accompanying ironing board, a wall safe, of course, that actually has a key. So that's a sign of this being older. The other wall safes in Disney World resorts are typically coatable. You've got plenty of coat hangers, and then a broom, a luggage rack, a vacuum, and a vacuum. These are totally both vacuums, right? Is this a vacuum? Before we move on into the bathroom, I am feeling sciencey. I will say I'm pretty optimistic about these beds. They look a lot like a regular Disney bed, and I like a regular Disney bed. Ready? Old Key West, Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett, science. Woo! Oh, I forgot I was really full. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. These are normal Disney beds, I'm pretty sure. Nice mix of firm and soft, so whatever your preference is, this is going to be a nice middle ground. Might not be perfect for you, but it's comfortable. I've never had like a bad night's sleep on a Disney bed, and I've slept in a lot of Disney beds. I think I'm going to sleep fine on this bed, especially because I have like infinite pillows in this room. Speaking of pillows, oh my gosh. You know, some people like firm pillows. That just couldn't be me. Disney's pillows are pretty cushy, and I'm into it. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. All right, bedside's complete. Let's check out the bathroom. Big ol' mirror alert. Look at this guy. Bang! Big mirror, very important so you can see me do this. And that's on the back of the door here. The rest of the bathroom is fairly sizable. It's all in one room, so there's no like separated toilet sink area situation, but there is another sink in the kitchenette, so if you needed a sink, you'd be set. Sink-wise, you got this little sink area. Very cute countertop. It's actually sparkly. I don't know, maybe Tinkerbell's been in here. Tissues, we've got facial soap and body lotion on the side, and just one sink, but there's a good amount of counter space here. I would say only one person's getting ready in this mirror at a time though. But good news, because you got the big mirror and infinite Quincy behind it. Under the sink, we've got some hand towels, some regular towels, big cabinet with some extra toilet paper and tissue, and then also a hairdryer. And another little cubby space. Towels-wise, there's of course hand towels by the sink, and then look at this oval window. Totally distracted. I actually really like that. And then there are tons of towels here behind the door. You've got this very beach housey seashell print, your ever important commode, trash bin, toilet paper, and then cute shower curtain. I actually really like this. It kind of looks like when you've half peeled a cucumber, which is relaxing. Cucumbers are relaxing. Kind of a small tub going on here. This is pretty small. I've seen bigger tubs in other hotels. I don't know if I mean, not that I'm like taking baths in hotels generally, but that's a pretty small tub. You do have a wide shower head though, which is pretty nice. It's not one of the super small ones, so we'll turn that on and check out water pressure. And then you've got your refillable toiletries in here, conditioner, body wash, and shampoo, and a shelf for your whatever you're bringing your own, plus bath soap here on the bath mat. I will say for a deluxe resort hotel, there are not a ton of toiletries in here. Some of the deluxe hotels, and even moderates, have a lot of toiletries. I've only ever seen Aloe one place, and that was a Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs. But let's check out that water pressure. There we go. I was like, that's pretty whiffy, but it kicked on. It's definitely not a like heavy pressure shower, but it is like a spread out solid flow. I think that'd be a comfortable shower. I will say though, luckily my room tour, not so much the bed science, but the rest of it helped me to digest. And now I feel ready to conquer the rest of this resort. Olivia's might be the most talked about aspect of this hotel, but there's a lot more to see that you're probably missing. So let's go check it out. I think that the easiest way to understand how this resort is laid out is to go back to the lobby. So that's where I'm headed. But I'm gonna save you the trip for now. So see you in a sec. Wait, I lied. Look at the seashell imprints in the ground. Okay, now see you in a sec. Okay. I'm back at Hospitality House, so resort tour commence. So Hospitality House is where you'll find airline drop-off. It's also where you'll head to check in if you didn't use that mobile check-in app on the app. If you are parking at Old Key West, it is a deluxe resort, so if you're not DVC, that's going to be $25 per night. Remember, if you do get here before you're able to get your stuff into your room, or you need a place to put your stuff if you have to get out of your room but you're still headed to the parks for the day, you can talk to Bell Services and they can hold your bags for the day if you need help. Also, if you do need help getting around Old Key West, please reach out to a cast member. In many cases, they'll be able to drive you over in one of the golf carts or at least help you know your way around. So talk to cast members if you need help getting around the resort. I think Old Key West has some super underrated theming. Again, Key West, little on the nose considering we're still in Florida, but it really is a comprehensive theme because even the weather and the plant life goes with the Key West. So we are back at Olivia's, but right next to Olivia's is our first stop on our tour of Conch General Flats store. Conch Flats, I just read it as Conch General Flats store because that's fine, but it's Conch Flats General Store, Cargo and Provisions. Let's see what's inside. Do you know you can send mail from your Disney World Resort hotel? So Conch Flats General Store is the only merchandise location here at Old Key West. It's pretty sizable. They've got a variety of things. You've got your standard Disney merchandise, things you might want to grab like ears or sunglasses, things like that. You've also got some Disney Vacation Club specific merchandise, including some Old Key West specific merchandise. You can usually find a lot of really fun merchandise at Disney Vacation Club resorts that go with just that resort, because there are a lot of people that call this resort their home away from home. More Disney Vacation Club merchandise over there, and I do recommend looking up, especially in hotel merchandise stores. There's typically some really well curated theming. That door leads right over to Olivia's. My favorite Old Key West merchandise is kind of hiding on this wall over here. The gurgling suitcase is the lounge chair. We'll check that out a little later. And then you've also got these really cute mugs and coasters. And look at this cute wicker bottom bag. There is a grocery section, considering this is a Disney Vacation Club resort. And many of the villas, well, all the villas, just not the studios, have full kitchens. So things like milk, necessities, they are available in here. It is a small grocery section, so you are welcome to order your own groceries. Orders like that are handled by Bell Services. Also keep in mind that these groceries tend to be a little pricier than you might see them at the grocery store. And I found our essential shelf always there for when I need it. Oh my gosh, look at that zipper. Actually, there's a lot of Old Key West merchandise. I really like seeing that. I wish the non-DVC resorts had just as much exclusive merchandise. People want to rep their favorite hotels, you know? I'm people. We checked out the pretty theming in the check-in building when we got here. We've of course checked out Olivia's very thoroughly. This is a really beautiful patio outside of Olivia's, which you can eat on. And you could request seating when you do like mobile check-in with the app. I just checked it at the counter, but if you mobile check-in with the app, you can request seating. Oh my gosh, look how cute this is. Love that. Right here at the very end of like the Hospitality House walkthrough, you've got some wonderful outdoor seating. There's a lot of outdoor seating out here. And then there's this boat dock down here, which is the Disney Vacation Club ferry, which heads to Disney Springs. Those hours do depend on Disney Springs hours, so make sure you listen to cast members to know when the last boat will be. But it's a great way to get to Disney Springs. If I have an excuse to take a boat, I will. So I'm not headed to Disney Springs on this staycation because I'm going to Magic Kingdom tomorrow. But I'm sure I would have a nice boat ride if I was headed to Disney Springs. I always say check out the recreation board when you're staying at a Disney World Resort hotel. This one has a bunch of stuff listed, some that are upcharged, some that are not upcharged, like Mickey Tie-Dye. Things like the campfire is not an upcharge, but you can add s'mores if you want. Movies Under the Stars I absolutely love, and on select nights they've got some fun ones. Nothing tonight. I always pick the days where they don't have those. And with Disney Vacation Club Resorts, you do have the benefit of the community hall, which we will visit soon. But there are usually lots of things you can borrow from community hall. Supplies for cornhole, supplies for the sport courts, all sorts of things. Out here on the water at Hospitality House is sort of where you'll find the main hub of social activity here at Old Key West. You've got the main pool over there. There's a lighthouse with that pool, which is super cool. And then a couple more dining locations for us to check out. So here we are at Gurgling Suitcase Libations and Spirits. This is the pool bar here at Old Key West, and they have some pretty interesting concoctions, some pretty unique concoctions. We are going to give one a try later, I think, if you stick around. And it is very Key West with like the emergency department patches on the wall. There's literally like, just the vibes are very Key West in here. It's super small and it's definitely a fun little bar. Just next door to the Gurgling Suitcase, you have Goods Food to Go, which is the walk-up quick service location here. at Old Key West. So if you want food to go, you have the options of walking up here at Good's Food to Go or mobile ordering, or you can get to-go food at Olivia's, and Gurgling Suitcase actually has some of the options from the Olivia's menu, plus a few extras as well if you want that. I see key lime pie on this board, which just seems like everything is right in the world when you see key lime pie at a resort called Old Key West. It's gonna be pretty standard food fare. I see hot dogs, cheeseburgers, chicken strips, mango rum barbecue pulled pork sandwich. If I didn't eat Olivia's, that would be on my list. And then you've also, of course, got some sandwiches and salads and things like that too. If you do mobile order Olivia's, you get to pick it up right over here by Good's Foods to Go, which means you don't have to walk all the way around, which is super convenient if you're having a pool or recreation day. And you can see kind of tucked over here is the Electric Eel Arcade as well. It's a very small arcade, but this is actually one of 2 arcades at this resort. So this is only one of them. Oh my gosh, I always want to play the Guitar Hero when I come in here. Now your recreation base at any WC resort is going to be the community hall. Here at this resort, it is called Conch Flats Community Hall. This is a great place to, again, borrow any supplies you might need to have some fun. And this is also where you can rent those DVDs I mentioned for your in-room DVD player. These rooms typically have movies playing, and they're set out for kids to do crafts and stuff like that. There's a pool table in this one. And during open hours, there are recreation cast members around to help with any crafts you might need, or just to hang out and have some fun. Conch Flats Community Hall is also where you can find Hank's Rent and Ride, which is where you'll get these babies. That's right, this resort has Surrey bikes for rental, and regular bikes, and of course a lot of other things, but the Surrey bikes are really where it's at for a unique, fun family activity. Also just a great way to get around the resort. These tend to be pretty pricey per hour, but bikes tend to be pretty manageable per hour, so always an option if you want to bike around your resort for a little bit on your resort day. And then we've got even more recreation activities. Ping pong. I don't know what that is. Oh, is it just hockey? Table hockey? Someone tell me what this is in the comments. Or editor, tell me what this is. Now, the studio rooms are the only ones that don't have in-room laundry facilities, but there are laundry facilities located in every pool area. They're also the only rooms that don't have ice makers, but ice is located at every bus stop. So there is laundry facilities around here. There's also restrooms, very important during your pool day. And the exercise room, which is called Rest Beach Recreation Department Exercise Room, and it's open 24 hours a day. All right, then we've got the main pool here, which is going to be kind of the big feature pool. The main event, of course, is going to be that awesome sandcastle slide you can see across the pool area with the Mickey-shaped opening. That looks so fun. But yep, pretty sizable pool. You can see it's pretty active today. It's pretty warm. One thing that's super unique about this pool area is there is actually a sauna in that lighthouse. Yep, there are spas here, and then this lighthouse over here is a sauna. Unfortunately, it is out of order today. Not that I think I was going to use it, but that's a really unique amenity. Most Disney World resorts do not have saunas. This one does. And also, most don't have a sandcastle slide, and this one does. So a lot going for this resort right now in this pool area. I really love this part of the pool area where you've got these like cute playing dolphins in this little fountain here, and then you're like right next to the actual waterway that leads over to Disney Springs. And you can see all those pretty Key West style homes over there. Kind of tucked behind the giant sandcastle, you'll find a really cute kids area. There's a shallow pool, all these really fun big sand sculptures, and a playground as well. This is also probably the closest thing you'll get to a beach here at Old Key West, because it is a sandy area, which is pretty fun for kids. Typically, the Disney Vacation Club resorts have a lot of sport courts. We saw that tennis court over near my room, and there are several other courts over here as well, like another tennis court right here, which is a double, and then I see a basketball court over there. All of that equipment is available at Community Hall if you are looking to have some fun, play a little sports during your resort day. Oh, shuffleboard. I know what that is. I've never played it though. Hank's Rent and Return. But obviously, as you saw from where my room is situated, these sport courts are not the only ones around Old Key West. There are some situated closer to the different buildings, so you don't have to necessarily travel all the way to the lobby building to have some fun. But you can have the most fun near the lobby building, because of what I'm about to show you. 1, hammocks. I love hammocks. I actually hung out in these hammocks last time I stayed here. I remember it well. It was great. There's also beach volleyball. Head over to the community hall or / Hank's Rent and Return, same thing, to get your volleyball equipment. I love lawn games, and check this out. Giant chess, giant checkers, giant Connect 4. That's where it's at. Just past the beach volleyball court is also where you'll find, I guess this is also kind of beachy. Alright, so there's semi-beach-esque areas at Old Key West. Anyway, right past the beach volleyball court, you'll find the campfire, which are typically hosted nightly, weather permitting. And we're getting a little later in the day, so you can see some recreation cast members getting set out here to host activities around the fire a little later. Also why you might want that s'mores kit. Oops, in the hammock. But that's pretty much everything you'll find here at Hospitality House in the main area. I'm going to take a little bit of a walk to the next bus stop for us to head to see the rest of the resort, especially because there's a really pretty view of Hospitality House sort of along the path, so I want to show that to you. There is a running trail throughout Old Key West. You can see it here. It's 2.5 miles, which is pretty lengthy as Disney Resort running trails go. I will note that much of it is kind of along the main road, which isn't the most scenic. There's this fun part, which we're gonna walk in a second, but most of it's just along the main road. As you've probably noticed, based on my view and a couple of the views I've showed you, Old Key West does sit alongside a golf course, which is a really, really great benefit if you're a golfer. I know that's why a lot of DVC members choose to make this their home resort. You love golf. This and Saratoga Springs have got you covered. Here's that pretty view of Hospitality House. Look how nice. As I mentioned, there are five internal bus stops here at the resort. Every bus stops for all the theme parks stops at all 5 stops. Disney Springs does as well, just in a slightly different order. This is the order if you want to commit it to memory. But we are at Peninsula right now, which is the first stop, and we're going to just go ahead and take the bus down to South Point Road bus stop so that we can kind of walk around down there and also get a feel for how long those bus stops take. Now I will say, we're going to take these 2 now. Our stop is Old Turtle Pond Road, and we're going to take this from here out to Magic Kingdom in the morning, so that'll give us an idea of just how long that total bus loop is. General estimates from Disney and from past AllEars excursions here say that the total bus loop takes 10 to 15 minutes, and that's on top of the 15-ish minutes it takes to get to each park. So you're going to want to budget in at least half an hour to get to your park in the morning. We generally recommend budgeting in a full hour because you never know what might go wrong. You might have to wait for a bus, you might just miss a bus, and then have to wait a full 20 minutes for it to come. So I just definitely recommend budgeting in a full hour to get where you want to go so you don't end up with any missed lightning lanes or reservations. Most resorts with internal stops do have an internal shuttle. This resort does not regularly, but you can take any bus to Hospitality House because every single bus stops at Hospitality House before leaving the resort. So if you need to get the lobby, literally just get on any bus. And confirmed, there's a map at this bus stop. Yay! So here you can find Hospitality House, which is everything we've seen so far. The main building with the dining, plus the recreation and sport courts over here. And then you've kind of got, there aren't really neighborhoods like you sometimes see. Instead, everything's kind of arranged on roads. So this is Peninsular Road, goes down to South Point Road. There's also Old Turtle Pond Road, and then Miller's Road. And there are a few that are right across from Hospitality House. These are pretty prime locations. So that's the general idea of how this resort is laid out. Now, a couple things to note. Not the only sport courts. There was the sport court near my room. Is that the only other one? It looks like it is. So there's one extra tennis court, and it happens to be right next to my room. That's funny. And then there's also, you can see where the ice machines are at all the bus stops. And there are pools here, here, and here, in addition to right here. We're going to go check out one of those pools just to see what they look like. They're leisure, well, 2 of them actually. They're leisure pools, so they're a little smaller. They're quieter. There is the Turtle Shack snack bar, which we're going to go check out. Another arcade over here. Playgrounds at these locations, so lots to see. But my bus is here. You can get on any bus. I'm on the Disney Springs bus, but it doesn't really matter. You can get on any bus. They all lead from Peninsula to Hospitality House, except for Disney Springs that goes Hospitality House, then Peninsula, then all the way back around to Hospitality House. All right, so we are down at the very end of Old Key West at the South Point Road area, and I think it's actually just called South Point. But anyway, the light is coming through the trees, really pretty, looking very Florida over there. We're gonna go try to find the pool. So here we have one of the smaller leisure pools, and it's very quiet right now. There are no lifeguards posted at leisure pools. This one does have a spa that there are some folks using right now. There is one just like this up at the very front of the resort in the Miller Road area, I believe. It's just a great spot to have some relaxation without traveling all the way up to the lobby. Nice pool area. There's some picnic tables and grills if you want to use them, which is an awesome amenity that you can find at most DVC resorts. And you're right here next to the water, which is really pretty as well. Just keep in mind, there are 2 of these. There's the one here, and there's the one up on potentially what is called Miller Street, but I can't remember and I can't find a map. There is a trail through here, which is super unique, and I definitely think we should take it. It leads right around to the area where our room is, at Old Turtle Pond. So let's take Kong Flats Trail. That says golfers only on the course. There's a sign up there, so if I'm walking somewhere I shouldn't be walking, hopefully it tells me. Okay, that way is apparently Saratoga Springs Nature Path, which I'm guessing leads over to Saratoga Springs. And this way, I don't think is the path of, well, maybe it is, because I remember it getting really close to the road. Okay, I spoke too soon about it not being scenic. It's scenic over here. I can see the golf course a lot. Oh, wow. Actually, look at that. That's really scenic. This is kind of cool that there's a trail. I forgot to mention it took exactly 3 minutes to get from one stop to the other, which I'm going to say is probably the average. Keep in mind, loading times may vary. If anybody in an ECV or a wheelchair needs to load, that can lengthen the times. So 3 minutes all the way around, 5 stops. Makes sense that 15 minutes is the usual for the internal bus loop. But it can get longer, so please, 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 please give yourself ample time. I'm confused and I'm lost. I'm going back to the bus stop to look at the map. Did you catch my mistake on the map there? It's not over by the pool. Good thing the resort is very pretty with the sun going down like this. Trail to Village Pool and Turtle Shack. Thank goodness. We made it. We're now back at Old Turtle Road. We made it to the Village Pool, which is where I was trying to get. It was a very short walk. It was like 4 minutes. So you can see this is a smaller pool, much like the Quiet Pool. It does have a playground, similar to that other Quiet Pool, as does the third one. Now there is the Turtle Snack Shack right here, which, as you can see, themed after a turtle. General pool snacks, you've got pizza and some salads, some sandwiches and things like that. Also, alcoholic beverages for you to enjoy during your pool day. They closed at 5:30. I was hoping to make it there while they were still open, but I made a mistake and wandered for a while and got very lost. So I didn't. Like I mentioned, there is laundry at this pool station, as there is at the other pool stations as well. And look, more shuffleboard. And here's that second arcade at the resort at the Flying Fish Game Room. So this pool and arcade and snack station are a lot more accessible than the front lobby. However, they're not as extensive when it comes to the amenities. So keep in mind, you can always just hop on a bus and end up at Hospitality House. That's certainly what I'm about to do. So that's pretty much Old Key West. That final area looks a lot like this other area. Has the same kind of quiet pool with the playground, same kind of playground. So we've pretty much seen all there is to see. I've gotten extremely lost despite thinking that I was really on top of stuff this time, which was discouraging, but it happens to the best of us. And now I think I'm gonna hop back on the bus and go back to Hospitality House because, like I said, I'm thirsty. So this is the second largest pool area right here on Old Turtle Road. It is not nearly as large as the main pool area at Hospitality House. So with your resort day, that's probably where you're gonna wanna head. If you want a little bit of some quieter fun, you can head here. And for the quietest fun of all, you can head to the other two pools at the top and bottom of the resort. Saratoga Springs, there were many more maps and there were a lot more pathways just crisscrossing between the main ones for you to be able to like find your way eventually. This resort, there are not a lot of pathways unless they are in front of buildings or on the main road, and there are no maps. Not very walkable. Just have a route in mind if you plan on exploring this resort, I would say. And a bus is pulling up right now. Remember, all buses stop at Hospitality House before leaving the resort, so hop on any bus to get back up to the lobby. The bus ride up to Hospitality House from Old Turtle Pond, so that's 3 of the stops, took about 10 minutes. So I would say, all in, depending on traffic, it's going to take you around 15 to 20 minutes to get through the entire resort loop. Now, odds are you're coming from one of the spots in the middle of the resort loop, so expect like 3 to 5 minutes between each of the stops. Between Miller House and Hospitality House, it's literally like 1 minute. It's getting dark. I certainly have worked up a thirst. I definitely think I'm gonna go get a drink and we can talk a little bit about whether this resort is right for you. I have some thoughts. All right, I made it back to Growing Suitcase and it's not very busy, which is awesome. All right, drink acquired. So this is the Olive Strawberry Lemonade, which was actually created by a cast member here at Gurgling Suitcase. It has Mickey ear lemons, and I'm freaking out because it's super cute. I got really excited when he handed it to me. But this is going to be Patron Silver Tequila with Minute Maid lemonade, key lime juice, and strawberry, and a sugared rim. I'm pretty excited. This is going to be sweet, but you really can't go wrong with like a sweet lemonade-y drink, and I like tequila, so I'm excited. Cheers. That's good. I mean, it definitely tastes like a Disney pool drink. A lot of Disney pool drinks are made with Patron. A lot of Disney pool drinks are like fruity combos with tequila or vodka. I'm not complaining though, I'm a tequila or vodka drinker. This one has a really great balance of the like liquor to sweet ratio. Sometimes they really overdo it on the sweet or really overdo it on the liquor if you're not much of a liquor drinker. So this is a really great balance. I especially like it because it is unique to this resort, and it's so unique to this resort that it was made by a cast member who works here currently at Gurgling Suitcase. While I hang out here, let's talk a little bit about whether or not this resort is right for you. So perks wise, this is a Disney World Resort hotel. You're paying that Disney premium, and that means you get a few Disney World perks. Things like that include transportation. So those buses that we are on today, those are free. You get free parking at the theme parks. Early theme park entry, 30 minutes to whichever park you have a reservation for. And since this is a deluxe resort, you get extended theme park hours on select nights at select parks, where you get extra hours in the theme parks. Only deluxe resort guests get to do this, so it's a pretty great perk. If you want to learn more about that, you can watch Molly's video about that. Also, keep in mind that the Disney dining plan will be returning at some point in the future. We're not sure when, but when it does, that will be an option for those staying at this resort as well. This resort does have some pros. For one, it's got those villa-style rooms. Unlike the one I stayed in, those are large, they're suitable for multiple adults, they're suitable for larger families, and that's a really big pro if that's the kind of group that you're traveling with. Two, you get those DVC amenities. Those are a huge perk. I love having a microwave in my room. I love having dishes, even if they're disposable. I love having the community halls and the fact that you can rent DVDs here, which was a surprise and a delightful one as well. And finally, the price here is kind of a pro, kind of not. So you're still paying Disney prices. They're still wildly expensive. The base room here is still $440. That's a Disney Deluxe Resort hotel. However, the villas here are cheaper than suite types in most of the other hotels around property. So if you're going for a suite, that's a pro. If you're not, it's a big con. So that one's kind of a flip-floppy, which is a good one to segue into the cons. I personally did not feel like my room was worth the cost. It felt a little outdated, and that's going to be true of a lot of the rooms here. Mine was also a small, pretty normal room size, like 2 queen beds with the kitchenette, I guess, was the added space. Does not feel like it's worth kind of the upcharge for a deluxe resort hotel when my TV is still half the size of the TVs in every other Walt Disney World hotel room. Another con is that you are limited to bus transportation almost exclusively. You can take that boat to Disney Springs, but otherwise you're taking the bus, and it is a hassle because it is an internal stops, and there are 5 of them. That's a lot. There's 7 at Caribbean Beach. I think 5 is the second most amount, and it takes a while. We saw today that it took me like 10 minutes to get between 3 of the stops, much less 5. So that's a big negative. It can be a big bummer if you're trying to get to the park early and you have to leave those extra minutes early to make sure you keep that internal bus loop in mind. It can be a huge bummer if you're exhausted at the end of the night and just want to make it back to your hotel room and you're the last stop. So that's no fun. And the other con is that there are kind of limited dining options here in general. I will say the dining options that are here are awesome. I love good food to go. I had an awesome meal at Olivia's, and I'm having a great drink from Gurgling Suitcase. Thank you. And so the dining options are amazing, but those are really it. There's not a lot going on here, and there's nothing walkable. So typically I like to include like walkable options. There's not really any. Now, you can take that boat and have tons of dining options at Disney Springs, but as for on-site options, there's not that many, so that's certainly a con if you're a big foodie. Overall, this resort is certainly going to be right for some families and not so right for others. If you need a really big hotel room and you want to do that for cheaper than you can at other Disney World Resort hotels, I definitely recommend taking a look at Old Key West. But if you're not going to be in the hotel room that much, if you're just a normal small group and you only really need a normal hotel room, it might not be worth the upcharge, especially with all those cons. This is definitely one that I have back and forth feelings about. I've had really good experiences at Old Key West when I was staying with my whole family, and we had 5 adults, and we were in a suite with a full kitchen and a view of the golf course with a beautiful private balcony. And then I don't love my room so much this time, where it's kind of outdated in the furnishings, the TV is teeny tiny, the balcony doesn't feel super private, and I'm still paying upwards of $400 a night for it. So I'm living proof that it depends on your situation whether or not this resort is right for you. All right, well, I have had a fun day exploring Old Key West and evaluating it for you guys. It's been a challenging one. I think now I'm going to head back to the room and try to catch Chopped and maybe yell at the TV for a couple of hours before falling asleep. Tomorrow, we're going to check out what it's like to take the bus to Magic Kingdom on that internal bus loop. So I'm really excited to do that. Plus, I love going to Magic Kingdom, and I'm meeting Molly to make another video. So I'm really excited about that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. I'm out at my bus stop at Old Turtle Pond Road, and I'm headed to Magic Kingdom this morning to actually meet Molly to film a video. I'm super excited. It's actually gorgeous out. I think it's gonna get hot, but for now, it's really pretty out. I slept super well. The beds were standard Disney comfort, so I slept just fine. Went straight through the night. Didn't love the small TV. It was pretty hard to watch the Food Network, which is my favorite pastime. So that wasn't great, but otherwise, I had a good night's sleep. Now checkout at Disney World Resort Hotels is at 11 a.m. and that is automatic. So if everything is right in the folio that you are emailed in the morning, you don't even have to worry about heading to the lobby and you can just head out, which is what I'm doing. And look at that. I came at the perfect time. I've only been here for like 2 minutes and the Magic Kingdom bus is here. Let's hop on. So I am the second stop here at Old Key West, which you can see the bus is not very full. There's only one other party on here. It is 10:30, so it's a little past park opening. But we'll see if it fills up a little more. In general, with Disney World Resorts, you aren't ever really going to have to wait past one bus. Maybe if you walk up right at the end of a bus loading. At this resort, since there are so many stops, your stop is never going to be that busy. But the bus itself might already have a ton of people on it, especially if you're getting on at Hospitality House. So that's just something to keep in mind. I don't think in most cases you'll have any issue, except maybe around the busiest times. The bus picked us up at 10:29, and we haven't even gotten to the next internal stop yet. Remember, we've got to stop 2 more places before we get to even leave the resort. So we'll see how long this takes. All right, we're stopped at the next station. It's been 6 minutes. That's the longest drive because you have to kind of go from a station pretty close to the back to the one at the very front. We just have to stop at Hospitality House now, and then it's on to the Magic Kingdom. Including 2 additional internal stops after I set off. I am at Magic Kingdom as of 23 minutes later. So not too shabby. I certainly think that could get extended. It's pretty low traffic. My bus wasn't very full, and we didn't have to wait to load any ECVs or wheelchairs and things like that. So I still stand by it. I think you should give yourself an hour to get where you're going in Disney World, especially if you need to transfer transportation, like if you're headed to a dining reservation at a resort. But that wasn't too bad. 22 minutes to Magic Kingdom. I'll take it. I have arrived. And now I'm off to eat everything in Main Street with Molly. You can follow us on social at AllEars.net. And now go watch my tour of Saratoga Springs Resort. See you there.